in partnership with Philippine Trade Training Center. In presenting your products for sale, it's very important to have clear, well-lit photographs that show the detail and quality of your collection. These photographs will not only be a good record for your archives, but it can drive sales to your business via social media platforms, such as Facebook or Instagram. You don't have to be a professional photographer. You do need a good quality smartphone. If you don't have one, maybe you have a friend or a relative that can help you take the photographs that you need to start selling your products. Today, we will be using an iPhone 12. We will shoot with natural light, which is light from the sun. Here is an example of an indoor setup with natural light. Remember to take note of the ideal time and use the same spot to shoot your items so that the light is consistent in all of your product shots. You do not want to shoot in direct sunlight. Here we have placed white paper on the wall and the tabletop to create a seamless background. The paper is matte finish. You do not want a shiny paper or finish, as this will reflect unnecessary light in your photograph and will not have a good result. Nothing else should be in the shot except for one product you are shooting. This type of photography is called product shots, meaning no model, no backgrounds, just very simple, clean photography of your one product on a white background. If you do not have the ideal natural lighting, you can use a reflector to bounce more light onto your product, or you can use a diffuser to filter and soften the light. But do not use the flash on your smartphone. Oftentimes, it doesn't bring good results for your photographs, and it blows out the details and the quality of your product. Place your product in the center of your tabletop. Make sure your product is within the white background. You should shoot your product from the front and also turn your product to show other angles. Position your product for a 3/4 shot. Profile, shoot the back, and another shot from the top to get the top view of your product. Close-up details are very important. Remember, the more details you provide, the easier it will be for the consumer to be convinced to purchase your product. Before you shoot, make sure the setting on your iPhone is on photo. Then aim at your product, tap your screen at the center of your product image so the camera focuses in on the product. Then shoot. Before you continue taking more photographs, check the image of your first few shots to see if it's clear and that there's enough light on your product. Change the angle and continue to shoot other sides of the product. During the time of shooting, you should try to get the best lighting possible on your product. With your smartphone, you will be able to improve the light and the color saturation by editing your photos in post-production. This means making adjustments after your shoot by pressing edit on the top right of your phone and making adjustment with light and cropping your photo to the size you need the image to be. This setup is ideal for bags and three-dimensional products. For products that are flat, you may need risers to help prop your product up so you can capture the best angle. Another setup is taking photos from above in a flat lay. This means your white paper is now being placed on the floor, and you will stand above your product to capture the image with your smartphone. If you have a costume jewelry line, most of your products can be shot on a flat lay or using some risers. It's a bit tricky to shoot earrings with posts. So here we used white paper and we poked the posts through the paper and fastened the back. So your earrings are laying flat and they hang nicely, ready to be photographed. For small furniture and home decor, you will have a similar setup like the tabletop, except you'll create your white seamless background by affixing the white paper on a wall and onto the floor. Once you've positioned your product on the white paper, you should turn your product to get a photo of every angle. As your items get larger, you're taking your photo from further away. So it's also important to capture the details of your product, like the details of your weave. So perhaps you should take a close-up picture that will show these details. Or you can crop the picture and have that available. For clothing, you don't necessarily have to have a mannequin. Here, we've taken a blouse and we've put it on a hanger on a white background. This is just a white wall. The hanger is hanging from a transparent nylon wire, which is tied onto a hanging hook. The hanging hook is attached to the wall just by simple glue and doesn't need to make a hole in the wall. You can find these items at your local hardware store. Don't include the hanging hook in your photo. You can always crop it out when you're done with your photo shoot. You take the photo from the front and another photo showing the back. And if you have interesting details like the embroidery on this blouse, you should take a close-up of that and also include that. If you'd like to shoot outside, take a look at what we have here. We've set up the white background on the tabletop, just like the inside, but we've selected a space that's actually under the shade. The light is coming from the outside, reflecting into the shaded area. Again, you do not want to shoot in direct sunlight. Oftentimes, the light is coming in too strong and it will be too harsh and may blow out the details of your product. Thank you so much for listening in on our photography one-on-one video. It is so important for you to have the best pictures possible, especially now because we're limited in our face-to-face contact. Most of our trade shows have been canceled. So if you can just take the time to take the best photos possible of your products, you will still have a chance to sell. So be patient,